Okay, boys and girls, we're going to connect fractions to division. I know I've told you several times that a fraction can be written as a division problem, or division problem is just a fraction. So if we look at this, 3/4 equals 3 divided by 4. 12 twos equals 12 divided by 2. And remember here, when you're writing it as a fraction, the numerator is your dividend, and your denominator is your divisor. So that means your dividend always comes first. So if I do 3 divided by 4, that's what that's looking like, is 3 divided by 4. Well, I could figure that out by going, it doesn't go once, does it? No. So what would we have? Well, we would have not a whole, but part of a whole answer. All right, so what does that look like when we're doing it as a drawing? There are 3 students in the craft class, and they have 2 sheets of paper for them to share equally. What part of the construction paper will each person get? So we're going to use a drawing because that's probably the easiest to start with until you get that figured out. So we have 2 pieces of paper, and that's what we're starting with, because our dividend always tells us what we have and how many equal parts are we cutting them into. Well, we're dividing them into 3 equal parts. So each one we're going to divide into 3 equal parts. So each student shares of 1 is, how much does each student get? Well, they get 1, because I would get 1 out of how many? I get 1/3. Cut the number of thirds each student will get. Since there are 2 sheets, they get 2 of 1/3, or 2 times 1/3. So what is it? It's 2/3. How can we check our work? Well, we can take our quotient, 2/3, times our divisor, 3, equals, so if we take that times it, 2/3 times 3, we always put that over 1, multiply straight across, and we get 6/3, improper fraction. 3 goes into 6 equals 2 times. We got our dividend. So each student will get 2/3 of the paper. So at first you're going to have to draw pictures, I think, to understand what we're doing, but it will come real quickly after you do a couple of these. You'll be seeing what that really looks like to divide. So 4 friends have 6 poster boards equally. They're going to share them. How many sheets will each friend get? So each friend will share 1 sheet so we know it's in 6 pieces, right? Because each one is going to get, no, it'd be in fourths, because 1/4, because there's 4 friends. So if we cut this into fourths, all right, so we cut each one, so each friend will get how many parts? 1/4 of a fourth, 1 of a fourth, or 1/4. I should say 1. 1 of the fourth. So I get this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Okay, so 4 divided by 4 is, well, how many am I going to get? I'm going to get 6/4, or 4 can go into 6 1. That would leave 2/4 left over. I can simplify that again to 1 1/2. So since 1 1/2 times 4 equals, I don't know, let's do it. 1 1/2 times 4 equals, well, we could turn this into an improper fraction if that makes you, we could do it both ways. So this would be 3 over 2 times 4, which is 12 over 2, which equals 6. What did we start with? A 6. Or we could have done 1.5 times 4. Well, I could take this times 4, I get 4. And then 1/2 times 4. 1/2 times 4 over 1. I get 4 over 2, which is 2. 4 plus 2 equals 6. So whichever way you want to do it, I still get, each one will get 1 1/2 sheets. All right, so let's try this. We've got bigger numbers. Does that matter to us? No. Ms. Rizos has a piece of string that is 125 inches long. For science experiment, she divided the string equally among 8 groups of students. How much string did each one get? Okay, so write the remainder as a fraction. So we have 125, because our dividend, divided by 8. So it could be written like this as a mixed number. We still have to divide it, so it goes in there one time. I have 45 left over. 8 times 5 is 40. I'm going to write it as a fraction. It's 5/8. So my answer is 15 5/8, because I know 5 is a prime number, and it can't go into 8. So really, now that you know how to divide, you know how to do fractions, divide fractions. Let's see, what else do we get to do? Okay, so you and your partner are going to work on this whole page together. Please draw them out till we get this figured out, how we are going to do it. You need to do everything on this page except for number 7. Okay, and then we'll skip this one and come back to it. Here we're going to do all the evens and 1 or 2 and all the rest. Please talk with your partner to whatever you notice. This is your sharing time, your investigating time.